Okay, my name is Phil Landon. I'm professionally known as P.B Landon. This is my debut novel, Just Only Slightly. And I will read a brief excerpt. It is from chapter 1. Paul Takachev. Poor Paul Takachev. Though it was only 9 a.m., his eyes were heavy, the weight of a dreary life. So young, yet already past the boom of promise. Feeling he was well into the wilt of his declining years. He yawned, this young man, tired even in the morning hours. Woe was the soul that was 27 years old and had given up on most joys. It didn't help that his job, like most jobs these days, was the opposite of purposeful. Long hours under the glow of artificial lights and row after row of pens where adults toiled in the never-ending quest to seem busy. Paul had never been there, but was certain that in hell, there would be a particularly vicious, cloven-hooven demon with a bass harmonica that played the sound of fluorescent lights buzzing overhead to torment the damned for all eternity. Just like at his work. Paul had worked at the same job since leaving university, 5 years prior, and still did not know, in a grand sense, what he did. Data came in through emails he entered into appropriate columns, and the program then put the data through an algorithm, and if the result came back in red, he called the respective client and informed them they were at risk to his firm. The client in turn usually yelled, "What do you mean, Paul?" Would apologize and tell them a contract is a contract and that they signed it. Defeated, the customer would sigh, reluctantly agree, and hang up. Then the process repeated itself over and over again, all by design. "Oh, Paul," said his boss, an attractive and chipper 20-something, immune to the soul-crushing rat race that was the corporate world. "We're going to be burning the midnight oil tonight with the Hanover deadline to meet. Can you just feel the overtime?" Her eyes beamed and she smiled wide, but to say her smile was disingenuous would be wrong. With the fervor of a convert, she truly believed every passive-aggressive and demeaning word that came from her mouth. "Can't imagine what I'll do with all the money," Paul replied. Without a single change in her facial expression, she twisted on her heels and smartly walked away. Moments later, Luke, her secretary, a roving helpmate thing, dropped the monstrous file on Paul's desk. Luke was never far behind his mistress, dealing out death to social lives everywhere. The file made a resounding thwonk noise as it hit Paul's desk. But really, who was Paul kidding? He wasn't going to do anything that night anyway.